Teenage girl still missing. High school student Sarah Rose McCarthy, age 15, is still missing as of Friday, May 10th, 2013, after disappearing on Saturday, May 4th, 2013 at 3:33 a.m. Theories about her disappearance including the following: she ran away, she was murdered, or she was kidnapped. If you have any information regarding the possible location of Sarah McCarthy, please call the following number: 1-622-696-1771. I write this to tell you my story. When I was a human, my name was Sarah Rose McCarthy. I was a straight-A student. I loved to role-play, go to school, and play video games. I was obsessed with a game series known as Silent Hill, but that all changed on May 4th at 3 p.m. Exactly 3 p.m. May 3rd, 7:30 p.m., my bedroom. "Sarah, time for dinner," my mom called up to me from the bottom of the stairs. "Coming," I replied as I saved my game on Silent Hill Downpour, the game given to me for my 15th birthday. I loved it. I had been playing it non-stop the entire day. I had no school because parent-teacher conferences had taken place that day. I ran downstairs into the dining room and my eyes widened when I saw what was on the table. A 3D sculpture of my favorite Silent Hill... A 3D sculpture cake of my favorite Silent Hill monster, Pyramid Head. After eating my birthday dessert/dinner, I ran back up to my room and went back to playing. May 4th, 1:33 a.m., my bedroom. I could have sworn I heard whispering outside my bedroom just a minute ago, I muttered, looking out my window. I thought to myself, probably just the wind, nothing to worry yourself about, Sarah. But I felt very, very paranoid at that point, and for a good reason, too. I heard whispers outside my window. The whisper said, "You have 2 hours until you are lost forever. Spend it wisely." I didn't know what lost forever meant at the time, but I had a hunch it was not going to be something good. May 4th, 2:33 a.m., my bedroom. There was an hour left before I was supposedly going to be lost forever, and paranoid as I was, I packed up what I thought would help me escape whatever was trying to kill me. The black revolver given to me by my father for self-defense, a meat cleaver from the kitchen, my black hoodie, my phone, and my PS3 with Silent Hill Downpour. If I did manage to escape, I would need something to entertain myself. I tied my black scarf around my waist and went to my parents' bedroom and kissed them goodbye, making sure to not wake them up. Right before running out the door, I quickly grabbed a plastic fork and container with a lid and 2 of the leftover pieces of the cake, just in case I got hungry on the run. I put the container with the cake in it into my black backpack and ran out the door. May 4th, 3:27 a.m. My city streets. 6 minutes were left, and that's when I found him. Well, more or less he found me. He was my age, with a golden-red colored hoodie, a white mask laying on the side of the top of his head, shaggy brown hair, blue eyes, and olive-toned skin. I was also sitting on the top of the skyscraper on the ledge. He walked towards me while I wasn't looking and sat next to me and said, hello. I looked at the boy and smiled. "Oh, hello, I'm Sarah. What's your name?" He hesitated, then said with a smile, "I'm Masky." My eyes widened and I started, You mean from Marble Hornets?" He nodded slightly. I pulled my meat cleaver out and held it in front of myself as I stammered, No, please, don't hurt me." He tried to calm me down by saying, "Shh, no, shh, it's okay, I don't want to hurt you. I only want to help you escape the one who wishes to spill your blood." Cautiously put down my knife and asked with a puzzled voice, "You mean you aren't going to kidnap me and take me to Slenderman?" He nodded with a grin on his face and replied. That's when we heard the sirens and a single command echoed through the night sky. "All officers, search for Sarah McCarthy. She must be in this area somewhere." Masky smirked. I looked at him, confused. Huh? Masky looked at me and grinned and then held out his hand to me and said, "Take my hand." I hesitantly did so, and we were teleported out of the city, but where we ended up wasn't very pleasant. May 4th, 3:37 a.m., Slender Forest. I stumbled, but Masky caught my arm and kept me steady. I looked up at him and smiled. "Thanks," he chuckled. "No problem." I looked around and noticed we were in the middle of some kind of forest. Looking around where we stood, my gaze stopped when I saw a note on the trunk of one of the trees. My eyes widened in horror. I looked at Masky with a betrayed look in my eyes and shouted, You lied to me! You said you weren't going to take me to Slender Man, but here we are in Slender Forest!" I I started to storm off when Masky grabbed my shoulder and turned me towards him. And only then did I see the "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring you here" look in his sea blue eyes. That's when we heard that cursed sound of pure static. Masky and I turned around slowly, and there he was, the man who has no face. Slender Man. Slender Man turned towards Masky and said in a deep, demonic voice, "Good job, my little proxy. You've brought your master a fresh show to feast upon." Masky's eyes widened, and he said, "My master, this girl's soul is not for you to feast upon." He looked at me nervously, trying to think up an excuse, because, he wrapped his arms around my waist from behind and licked my jawbone, trying to be convincing to Slender Man. I want to have her soul to myself." Slender Man considered this for a moment, then shrugged, "All right, as you wish, little proxy," and disappeared. He let go of my waist and looked at me, his face flushed pink. "Sorry, Sarah." I smiled, my face turning red. It's okay, Masky. You did what you needed to." May 4th, 12:36 p.m., different city streets. I complained to Masky, "Ugh, I've had enough of all of this running. I want to stop and get some sleep. I feel like death right now. I'm so tired." Masky sighed and shook his head. "Sarah, we can't stop. We've been running for too long to quit now." I moaned in complaint, "But Masky..." He shook his head. "No, Sarah." Suddenly I felt really lightheaded and said in a weak voice, "Masky, I don't feel so good." And I blacked out. May 4th, 1:36 p.m., different city streets, still. My eyes reopened, and to my surprise, Masky was carrying me. Confused, I looked behind Masky, and my eyes widened in terror. Behind us was a boy about 17 with long, very long, greasy black hair, gray hoodie, one blue eye, one green eye in his face. It was stitched closed with purple thread, as if you were to use a seam ripper on his face, his skin would just fall off, as if it were material. And the most horrific thing was that he was chasing us. Masky was running as fast as he could while carrying me. I leapt out of his arms and grabbed his hand and started to run too, but the boy kept getting closer and closer and closer to us. We couldn't run much longer. May 4th, 2:54 p.m., rooftop. It was time. I was going to die. The boy took out a pistol and shot at me at both of my shoulders, but I somehow managed to dodge the bullets. I lunged at him with my revolver out, hoping to shoot him in the head at point blank with my gun, but he kicked my revolver away. I had no choice. I slowly took out my meat cleaver and swung wildly at the boy, somehow missing him every single time. He continued to shoot at me, which failed because I was somehow able to slice the bullets in half with the meat cleaver. He started to get agitated with me, so he took out another gun, shot both guns at me simultaneously, but I still hacked away at him. That's when he got totally ticked off. He threw his guns at the ground and they smashed hard. He simply took out a butcher knife and somehow sliced my meat cleaver in half with his knife. I stared in horror, and to my surprise, he grabbed my arms and wrapped his left arm around my waist and put his knife to my face. First, he pried my eyes out of my skull with his knife, despite my screams of absolute pain. Then I could sense him putting the knife to my throat. I stammered, "Who the bloody heck are you?" I felt him smirking as he chuckled. "I'm Lou the Killer, and you, Miss Sarah McCarthy, are dead." And I felt metal cut my throat, and my lifeless body fell forward. May 4th, 3 p.m., rooftop. My eyes slowly opened. My vision was blurry for a few seconds, but then it cleared up. When I looked up, standing over me was a boy with black hoodie, black jeans, very dark gray skin, and a blue mask. I groaned, "Oh, what happened?" Masky reappeared with a grim expression on his face and replied, You died. Your eyes were gouged out and your throat was slit." My eyes widened, but wait, if I have no eyes, then how can I see? And if my throat was slit, how the heck am I alive? The boy with the mask laughed slightly. "You can thank me for that." I moaned to him, "Who are you?" The boy replied, "I'm EYELESS Jack, kidney eater. You can call me Jack." I coughed. "Thank you, Jack. You saved my life." EYELESS Jack smiled down at me and replied, "No problem. I'm down with helping pretty girls anytime." He and I chuckled. Masky put out his hand to me and helped me stand up. Together, the three of us walked to the end the ledge of the skyscraper. I took hold of Jackie and Maskey's hands. I told them something that I can't remember what exactly it was. But then I remembered the three of us then closed our eyes and simultaneously said 1, 2, 3. The three of us allowed ourselves to fall forward, weighting the impact of our bodies to the ground 600 feet below.